Yes, polite applause. Maybe they didn't like what we had to say in the last part. Who cares? I don't. Right, this is the Chelsea Football Fancast, and we are, well, I am Stanford Chidge, if I can remember that. This is Ross.
Hello.
This is Pablo.
Hello.
And these two are Jason and Lawrence, and they are from a great band called The Beautiful Game. And if you weren't watching the last part, you missed out, because you would have seen an exclusive teaser of their new single. Now, this part is called You're on CFFC, which I used to do on the podcast years and years ago, back in the days when we were not very good. Some might say probably as recently as last week, but that's not really true. Now, really, this part is all about you, so you need to get your questions into the Chadmeister who's on the benches via Twitter or Mixlr. Or you can even phone us up on the old Skype line and we can actually get to see the whites of your eyes as you ask us difficult questions. Now, to do that, you need to be listening on mixlr.com/Chelsea-fancast. The Skype address is chelsea.fancast. And, of course, you can always email me during the week and I'll try and get some of your emails in. And the email address is chelseafancast@gmail.com. Now, actually, talking of emails, I've got a cracking email from Christopher Larwood. Remember Chris?
Yeah, down under.
The Blue Roo?
No idea. Sorry.
You are. He was. I tell you what, Chris Larwood was listening to the show before you were even on it.
I was on it
Before
on
you
the
were
first
born.
show, mate.
You were not on the first show. No,
We've
you
been
weren't.
through this before.
Right, they're going to do a poll. Was Pablo on the first Chelsea Fancast? The answer is no.
None of us were.
With Stu and Phil.
Martin, me,
Martin,
and
yeah.
Stuart.
And me.
No, you weren't. Anyway, let's get back to the programme. Right, Christopher Larwood, who's a great bloke, and he is from South Australia, he says, "Hi all from South Australia. I don't think there has ever been a time when so many ex-Chelsea players and coaches are now managing other teams. Steve Clarke, Brendan Rodgers, Gus Poyet, Mark Hughes, AVB, Gianfranco Zola. Are there any clear reasons Chelsea are producing numerous managers these days? Success breeds success, for example?" And he also finishes this off with, "Any Fancast listeners coming to Oz for the resumption of hostilities in the Ashes Down Under? You won't be able to rely on rain to save you in a proper Oz summer test series. Adelaide Chelsea would welcome one and all for the Stoke match on December the 7th. Do you know what, Chris? I've told you this before. I'm so confident that England are going to absolutely pummel the shackle draggers into the ground this winter that I'm not even going to bother going. I'm just going to sit and watch it on TV because it's never going to win. So stick that up your pipe and smoke it." Now, in terms of his question, that's a really good question, I thought, which is why I was also keen to read it out because I do love Chris. It is interesting. We've got a lot of, ex-players, people say who are doing really. Why is that?
It's difficult to say, isn't it? But I mean, it's over a prolonged period. I mean, there's the Mourinho generation of Clarke and AVB and Rodgers, but then obviously there's a
Zola wasn't.
Yeah, well, that's what
Or
that's the
Hughes.
point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been. Well, Hullet's another one you could include in there.
Yeah.
Dan Petrescu.
Yeah.
Vialli.
I
So
think it's from the 90s era. I remember Dennis Wise once saying that, that team that had a lot of success won the FA Cup, League Cup,
Yeah.
Cup Winners' Cup. One part of the reason was that a lot of the players were so intelligent. They were all quite professional and very knowledgeable about the game, and that's translated on. And then, as Pablo said, the other part is that the Chelsea coaching system, rather from the academy upwards over the last 5-10 years, has really been consistent. And a lot of people like Steve Holland is one as well who's come up through that.
I think it's actually more interesting, as you were both alluding to see the number of players who were playing in the 90s, in that team in the 90s, who were doing really well in management. And actually what strikes me there is you've got a lot of big personalities, a lot of intelligent ex-players and leaders as well, actually. And
It was a very
quite
interesting
special
dressing
team.
room at the time.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So I'm not surprised. That's a brilliant question from Chris. Sorry, Law, you were about to say.
Also, but I don't know what happened there.
Did you fart or something?
No, it was the chair.
The chair.
It was the chair.
That was always Darren's excuse.
Yeah, it's now mine.
Time will tell in about 30 seconds, if you know what I mean.
It was also, we've got Torre Andre Flo, Danny Granville and Jodie Morris who are all part of the youth coaching setup at the moment
John
as well.
Harley as well.
Damien Matthew, I think, used to be.
Chris, that is a fantastic question, and it's lovely to hear from you. And I'm sure your shackle draggers will give us a bit more of a game than they did in the summer, mate. Anyway, I do believe we have a very old and dear friend on Skype at the moment. It's Keegs. Can you hear me?
Hello, lads. How are you?
I'm very, very well. It's really lovely to see you. We've never seen you before. We've heard you, we've spoken to you, but we've never heard. And you've got your Chelsea Fancast t-shirt in the background, mate.
It's in the background, and I got a special one for Brent Atima right here.
Oh,
Great player, Mikel.
fantastic, mate. Anyway, look, it's great to see you, fella. And have you got a question for us?
I do. One of the guys in the chat room just had a question that was good.
Yeah, why is the sound not working?
Since Mikel has scored, who is the Chelsea player that hasn't scored in the most time now? Is it Essien? Is it Peter Cech? Who hasn't scored in the most amount of time?
Chad?
That's a good question. Chad, we're going to ask Chad that one. What do you reckon, Chad?
You expect me to know a question like that off the top of my head?
Well, you're the man who does the stats.
Okay, I can tell you from what I remember looking before, it'll be Ashley Cole. He's gone about 55 games. I think Aspie's gone about 53, and I think Essien's probably gone 52 games without scoring, off the top of my head. Roughly.
How about that, Mike? You know, this is why we have Chad on the show.
Good stuff, Chad.
Cheers, buddy.
So, listen, where were you watching the game on Sunday, mate?
I was at work, so I watched it when I got home.
Bummer. And where do you watch it when you're not at work? Have you got a decent pub out there you're watching it in?
Oh, we got the best pub in the world. We got Legends on 33rd Street in New York City, right behind the Empire State Building. Best place to watch a game.
And how is life in the Big Apple?
Life's good. It's very good, actually.
Are they all in mourning today for Lou Reed?
There was a lot of that yesterday, yeah.
No, I was a big Lou Reed fan. It's actually quite funny because we were in the pub after the match when everybody's like on their Twitter, on their phone, and it was suddenly filtering through the news that Lou Reed had died, and it kind of really brought the mood down for a bit, didn't it?
Me as well.
So there we go. So when are you going to get over for a game then, Mike? We need to see you over here.
And a gig.
A few of us are looking to come over in early April, probably I think it's like April 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. We'll be over there.
So around the time we seal the league then, eh?
Yes.
I like it.
The New York Blues will be coming over, and I'm recruiting some of my other friends to come over as well.
Excellent stuff, mate. And can you promise me that when you come over that we get to see you for a drink or 10, and also that you come and sit on the benches with us?
Will do.
That'd be brilliant. Mike, it's lovely to speak to you finally. Mike has been listening to this show since it started. He's a brilliant lad. Mike, have a good winter, and we'll see you in April, mate.
Thank you, lads.
Take care, fella.
Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
That's brilliant. It's brilliant when we get to speak to somebody that we've known for years but never actually spoke to, if you see what I mean. That's brilliant. Chad Meister,
Yes?
do you have some questions from Mixlr and Twitter?
I do. I'll start off with quite a tricky one, actually.
No,
for
please don't.
Lawrence and Jason here. Who would be in their best ever Chelsea lineup? And that's from Joe Almy Hall has asked that question.
I'll have Ashley Cole left back straight away. Petr Cech.
Definitely Petr Cech.
Zola's got to be in there.
I really like Carvalho. I'd put Carvalho in there, maybe. Dennis Wise for me as well.
I was a massive Desai fan as well. It's hard to leave him out.
Is there going to be a fight, or are
Then
you going to
can
agree
you
on
leave-
everything?
We have a
You
fight
can't
now
leave
and then.
out. Yeah, I don't
Ashley
know.
Cole, it's very difficult midfield. You've got to have Lampard in there, top goal scorer of all time.
Got to have Jogba as well.
But they're all current players. They're going to think we just joined the bandwagon. We've been scoring for
But
30
here's
years.
the thing, you two. Here's the thing, you two. Right? I mean, that is a horrible question
It's tough.
of anybody
On
to
the
ask.
spot.
On the spot, because it'd take me a while to get
No,
my
but
team.
it is. But I think the interesting angle on this is, before we started winning everything with what is clearly, I think, will go down in history as Chelsea's best ever side.
Of course it is. Best.
We always used to sit here and say, who's our Chelsea best? Oh, well, obviously Peter Bonetti's got to be in there. Obviously
Yeah.
Peter Osgood's got to be in there. Obviously Chopper. We would immediately go to that. What I would be, basically, it's really how much of those kind of players would actually get into this team now.
That's exactly it.
It's tough,
It's
isn't
very
it?
tough.
How can you not have
how-
Lampard, Terry, Ashley Cole, Drogba,
How do you leave
Cech?
people at the
That's
team that
half
won the
team.
Champions League for you, the key players? How do you leave them out? Or
Then you've also
can't.
got legends like Dixon
Yeah.
as well.
And
Yeah.
Champagne Charlie Cook as
Don't
well.
forget, I'd say more. It'd have to be a squad of like 24 players.
Yeah.
I would say
Maybe
that.
30.
To make
That
it
sounds
work
like the
properly.
easier question.
Because we've been up against this with kids, but it's impossible to pick it on the you'd never agree on it either. You could pick 20 teams and you'd never agree on it.
Exactly.
You'd take I'd say a 24-man squad of past, present. And I think personally there wouldn't be too many from past squads getting into it.
No,
you
well,
can't.
I
You
think-
just can't
yeah.
say. You just can't tell me that because
It's tough.
what did we win before that? I know that there's a lot of money involved. We've been very fortunate, but
But it's the quality of the players.
it's the quality of the players
James.
and the training methods, everything. It's gone massive. You won't be able to going out in the town and drinking and smoking the night before a game now. I was going to say gig, we do that, but hey, I mean, I don't smoke. But
But that's the thing. I mean, as I said, Cech, Terry, Ashley Cole, Lampard, and Drogba.
Ashley Cole picks
have,
himself.
have to walk in.
Walk
I think.
in.
But
Eddie- the best side we've
Makelele's
got.
got-
Eddie
Makelele
McCready
would
was
be-
one of the best left backs we
But
ever
look
had.
at Ashley Cole. I mean, Ashley
mean,
Cole's got
I
100
agree.
and odd England caps as well.
And then you've got players like Tambling, Roy Bentley.
Yeah.
You couldn't leave that Makelele out of the squad, no way.
Gareth Hall.
Gareth
Well,
Hall,
maybe not Gareth.
Joe Allen,
Definitely
Alan
right
Mays.
back. Dan
Mount
Petrescu.
Donaghy.
I agree with Lawrence for Dennis Wise in terms of a leader, definitely. Wise and Terry.
And Dan Petrescu would definitely get in it
You've
right
got
back
Osgood's
for
got to
me.
be in there.
You've destroyed your.
Chopper Harris, there's loads.
So many.
Freak out.
I agree with Jay. It's tough to pick an 11.
We'll pick a
but
24-man squad, and I'll tell you what we should do. We should get our 24-man squad and put it on the Beautiful Games Facebook or something. Or
Yeah.
place it
do
on
one of
the
those tracks where the only lyrics are the names of every single Chelsea player.
That'd be good. We were talking about doing an England World Cup song. I got the lyrics down for it, but it just didn't happen. But we could do a Chelsea one. But
Yeah, I think that's really, really good.
Bring back the FA Cup final.
I think actually no, you
Yes.
just hit on something. You know, somebody has to do. You know, you need to do a Chelsea. You should
because
do one anyway.
before Suggs did that one, there was some shockers, weren't there? And that no one could stop us now for '94, which I was at that final.
I bought that on single.
And I had a B-side. We thank you sincerely. Oh my lord!
Okay, listen, we're gonna go back to the Chadmeister. We've got another Skype caller waiting, but I want to see if he's got another horrible question. That was a really who asked that question?
That was Joe Almy Hall asked that one. Yeah, wasn't
Who?
it? Joe Almy Hall.
Tell him to blow our single.
Yeah, but
Or it could be a girl. It's a joke, so you're not sure.
your punishment is you have to buy their single because that was a shocking question,
79p.
very difficult, brilliant stuff.
Just a quick, funny little question from Ryan. With all the stuff that's fallen off the table, he wants to know, is Darren hiding underneath it?
I thought we've got Mourinho under there.
No, that is a quality question. I don't know what's up with us tonight. I mean, we've got Dropsy. I've managed to. I mean, as you may or may not know, I mean, I don't care about debunking the
Trade
myths.
secrets.
Trade secrets. Pff, I don't care. I have an earpiece, you see, so that Greg in the gallery can talk to me, and I managed to drop that and it unplugged, so I couldn't hear him for about 10 minutes. And my microphone, which is like a little radio mic, has actually fallen out of my pocket onto the floor. I don't know what he dropped.
That was the chair.
Yeah, maybe
Definitely
Darren is
the chair.
here. Maybe.
Although I said earlier to you guys
You
that
did.
every time we've been on, Darren isn't about.
Exactly.
We should get you on more often.
Darren and Lowell have never been seen in the same place on a Chelsea fancast.
Not on the FanCast.
Exactly. Right, so that was a great question,
Brilliant.
and I hope we answered that. Now, we have a Skype call. Who do we have a Skype call from? Charlie is on Skype. Come in, Charlie.
Alright.
Hello, mate. How are
Charlie.
you? Good to see you. I like the fact that you're actually wearing already the shirt that is going to be...
Who's on the back?
What's on the back? Soda.
Hey, take the
That
van.
is spooky, mate. That is absolutely
They
spooky.
made more than one of this
Look
shirt.
at that. Look at that. He's got the same shirt. I love that. So, Charlie,
I'm
lovely to hear from you. You got a question for us, yeah?
It's a related question. I want to know what all of your favourite Chelsea kits ever were.
Wow.
Oh.
Brilliant question. Should we take this in turn, I think? Lol.
I really love the red and white diamond away kit. I think that's a fantastic shirt.
High fives across the room. Party time.
You've got a high five already, Charlie. Pablo?
The first one I owned was the tangerine and graphite number.
Oh!
First shirt I ever had. But I actually thought last season's blue and gold kit was one of the nicest we've had for a very, very long time. So I'm just going to stick with that one.
Okay. I personally, it's a toss-up for me between the old Umbro kit from about 76, 77, when Butch Wilkins was wearing it, because that's when I first really fell in love with the club, and I loved that kit with the little Umbros down the side. But I think my all-time favourite kit is the one that we had in the mid-80s, which Kerry Dixon used to wear, which is it's kind of like that's right, horizontal stripes, light
The
shade
red
of blue
ones.
with a little red
That's
stripe.
right.
Yeah, it's a real quality kit, and it reminds me of when I was like first really going. I love that one. What about you, Ross?
I really like the mid '60s retro kit, which I think they sell in the mega store.
Which one's that one then?
You've probably seen me.
Is
It's
it
the
the
white,
round neck?
Yeah.
round white collar. Very simple, just got the badge on. But I think actually I've got to go for the centenary kit,
That
which
is an
has
excellent one.
which has gold in it, and of course it's got the gold Premier
Yeah.
League winning badges on.
Yes, I like that one. What about you, Jace?
I like the 1970s FA Cup one, the replica one. I've got one of those at home, but I think my favourite would be the 2000, with the year we won the FA Cup in 2000, the autographs one. I'm a fan of that one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a nice
I
kit,
do
yeah.
like it. I still wear it.
I've got another couple of kits that I like. Is they only ever wore this once, but it's like black and blue stripes, vertical stripes, like the Inter Milan kit. They wore that for, I think it was a semi-final of a League Cup in the mid-60s. And
They only wore it once.
Yeah, they only wore it once. And the other one is the really weird one, which is the one with the red and the green stripe down it. It looks like an Ajax kit, but kind of or Hungary kit even. Anyway, Charlie, what's your favourite kit, mate?
my dad, who's been going since way back, he gave me his 1984 Chelsea shirt, the one you on about, the stripes, the Coxwell teeth one. And that's my favourite kit because every game I've worn it to was won, including the Munich Champions League final, FA Cup finals, the run-up to that Champions League. So that's my favourite kit by far.
Was that the kit you produced a video for? With,
I did, yes. I did a
it?
video with some glamour model prancing around in it.
Not my nice video.
Not my finest. Not my finest. Well, I have to say, it was better TV than having you lot round.
Can we air it on the show?
Yes, we probably can air it on the show. I'll have to dig it out and see if I can
it's on my YouTube favourites list.
All right. Okay. Brilliant stuff, Charlie. That was brilliant. I'm really glad you told me about the fact that the kit that I like is your lucky kit, because I had something similar when on the Champions League run. I had no money at all during that run-in, and at the Napoli game, I normally would go and buy a programme, but I had no money, so I thought, no, I'm not going to buy one, and we won it, and I refused to buy a programme for the whole of the rest of the season, and we won the Champions League. So I know exactly where you're coming from with that. You need a bit of luck, don't you?
Yeah.
Mate.
Stop buying programmes then.
I've stopped buying them now, because if I buy one, we'll lose, you know. Mate, it's been brilliant.
If you buy one, you'll buy more.
Absolutely. Mate, it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you for calling in. Come and do it again.
Nice one.
Nice curtains.
Right, have we got time for more questions from the benches?
That was brilliant.
Have we got... You've been rude to the people on the phone.
He had a cheeky laugh himself there.
Sorry, mate.
Benches, have we got more questions? Come in, benches.
Yeah, I've got a question from Brett Higgins here, who says, will the team that plays against Arsenal on Tuesday night be anything like the team that plays them in the league?
No.
No. I don't think he's going to do that. I really don't. I mean, his track record in the League Cup so far suggests that he won't. But what do you reckon, Pablo?
There'll be 10 changes, and I think Cahill will be the only one that starts. But that's not to say that when we play him in the league, someone like Mata might not have fought his way back into the team.
I mean, who do you think will start, more interestingly?
Almost the same team as Swindon, I'd have thought.
So, what was that?
So, Schwarzer, Aspie, Louise, Cahill and
De Bruyne,
Bertrand. Probably Essien and Mikel. Mata, De Bruyne and Willian. And either Bar or Etu.
I don't disagree with that. I think he will. I think he'll do what he did for Swindon, because he's already kind of got his excuses in early, Brett, because he was saying when the fixture was announced that there wasn't enough time between the City match and the Arsenal match, and I'll have to put my reserves in. So I think he's already got his excuses.
There have been studies done that show if you play a game within 2 days of a previous fixture, the likelihood of injuries is vastly increased. So he's got his hands tied, but we've got a decent squad. We've
got time for one. I'm being told by Greg, who's being very bossy tonight, I have to say.
Is that why you keep unplugging you?
Either that or you're the evil voice in my head, I don't know. But we got one more question from the benches, mate.
Yeah, it's from CarCarX90X to the beautiful game that says, how would it feel to have one of your songs played at Stamford Bridge?
Oh, good question.
I think I'd love it, but it'd feel even better to actually play there. Love to play a gig. They've done gigs at Stamford Bridge, haven't they, as well?
Yeah. And also, I'd like to play Under the Bridge as well.
Under the Bridge is lovely.
Yeah. Which is a superb venue, and all the musicians are loving that as a venue. You should play. We should sort this out.
Yeah. It just won Venue of the Year as well.
It has, yeah, it has.
Now we've got the lineup back together. I think it's time to be doing everything.
Would that be more special to you than you know a really good Chelsea match beating, I don't know, absolutely stuffing Bayern Munich 5-0, for example?
I said after we won the Champions League, nothing would ever beat that, even if I had kids, even twins. Well, I think it would equal it, but it couldn't beat it. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to put on the par with it.
If there's any other venue that you would like to play, what would it be?
Me personally, it'd be Brixton Academy. I'd love to play there. Yeah. I've always loved that venue. You can actually drink at the bar.
I love the slope and the stalls, Jace. If you've had a few too many, you kind of get drawn to the front.
There's not many venues where you can actually stand at the bar and actually see everything completely perfectly. I think it's a brilliant venue. I'd love to play there.
Carly, that was an absolutely tip-top question, and thank you very much for it. Thank you for listening, and I'm sorry if you've had a bit of trouble on Mixler tonight, you lot. Right, after the break, it will be time for some fantastic stats from the Chad Meister himself and some other news in a minute.